Welcome back. Well, as you can see, I've got out my CZ457. It's not the same exact rifle that you saw the last time about 16 months ago. Well, it's the same rifle, but it's got a different barrel on it. So we'll call it a different rifle right now because this barrel is a 22 Winchester Magnum Rimfire, the 22 Win Mag. I had my choice of going to a 17 HMR, the Hornady Magnum Rimfire, or the 22. I've kind of got a little bit of a soft spot in my heart for the 22 Magnum. I remember when it first came out, my father came home shortly after it was released in 1958 with a Ruger convertible single 6 revolver, single action revolver. And that was my first exposure to a single action pistol, actually a pistol of any kind. Up until that time, I had seen him take out his deer rifles and things, and his shotgun. It actually is 2 shotguns. But that was my first exposure to a pistol, and I really got a kick out of it when I watched him change the cylinders and shoot the 22 Magnum. And I remember the devastating results that it had on red squirrels and things at fairly distant ranges. He was able to hit reliably beyond 25 and 30 yards with that pistol. But anyway, I decided to get the 22 Magnum Rimfire. I know that the 17 HMR has got a little bit better, flatter trajectory. I'm a man of not just one rifle, so if I need to have flatter trajectory to get way out there, I'll probably grab my 222 or my 22 250. So I'm not hamstrung in that way. Let's talk about the 22 Magnum Rimfire, the 22 Win Mag, for a moment. It's often said that it has a effective greater. Well, wouldn't you know it? As things occur in the digital world with cameras and computers and everything, you can expect a glitch now and then. I've been very fortunate that most of the time it doesn't happen, but when I got home and I reviewed that footage and I started to edit it, I discovered I lost about 3 minutes of footage during the shooting of the CCI A22 22 Rimfire Magnum. Well, we'll return to that shooting, and we'll complete the entire series, which I think is pretty informative. But what I was trying to convey at the moment that that digital dropped out was regarding the effective range of the 22 Winchester Magnum Rimfire. It has often been said that the Magnum version of the 22 Rimfire gains about 35 or so yards of effective range over the 22 long rifle. That's actually not correct. It's correct if you're only looking at paper ballistics, the trajectory charts. But real performance goes way beyond real trajectory charts. The simple reason being, as I spoke about earlier in some other videos, 22 rimfires, the high velocity 22 rimfires that most people would compare to the 22 Rimfire Magnum, the high velocity rimfire, 22 long rifle rimfire, descends below the speed of sound at around about 45 to 50 yards or so. And immediately after that happens, the sound wave, which is still going at the same supersonic speed, immediately catches up to the base of that bullet and smacks it in the back and disrupts its flight. And it's very much, as I said before, it's very much the same as a following wake on a high-speed boat that's immediately back throttled and it's slowed down. That following wake will slam into the transom of the boat and disrupt it and upset the passengers. Well, this is exactly what happens with the 22 long rifle rimfire, high-speed ammo. So, you know, you might say, well, the accuracy is still there for, you know, maybe 55 or 60 yards or so, but immediately it starts to drop off, and you'll see that when you start doing some testing of high velocity 22 long rifles. You know, things look just great when you're at 25 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, and so forth. At 50 yards, things start opening up a little bit, and that's the reason why. People don't normally compare standard velocity 22 rimfire long rifle to 22 Magnum rimfire, because it's an entirely different scenario. Those bullets, because they're not subject to that decreasing velocity below the sound barrier, they've never achieved the sound barrier, so that wake doesn't exist, so they fly true all the way to their target long ways. You know, you can fire a standard velocity 22 long rifle and get pretty good performance way out beyond what people would consider to be standard ranges for the 22 long rifle. I got a black fly here or something. But the real effective difference between the Magnum, the 22 Win Mag, over the high velocity rimfire, the high velocity 22 long rifle, is more or less about triple. So you can say that you get a very accurate response out of the 22 long rifle up to maybe 50, 55 yards or so before things start to fall apart. Well, with the 22 Win Mag, everything is sustained way out to its full maximum range, which can be as much as almost 200 yards. So apart from the trajectory loss, you know, the rainbow trajectory that starts to occur after 150 yards or so, and, you know, the depletion of energy which occurs as the bullet slows down, you still have a considerably longer effective hunting distance. So you actually have a full 150 yards. You're not comparing, say 100, 110 yards or something to 150 yards. You're comparing actually 50 yards to 150 yards. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Sometimes it's not all about trajectory. Sometimes, because paper ballistics can really be misleading. It's not about trajectory, it's about effective trajectory, it's effective ballistics. So that's it. We're going to return to our regular broadcast in just a moment. Okay, we've got the drone sitting just above the target there, and I'll try not to hit it. I shouldn't have any problem with that, I hope. So, I got to get out my knife for these things. So we're going to start out the next bunch with the VNTs. I'm going to limit it to 5 shots because I don't want to. I'm out in nowhere here, so I don't want to run out of battery for the camera. So let me get these all opened up. What they do with 5 rounds, they're going to do with 10 rounds. So, and the air is very dead calm, so there's not any issue of averaging these shots out or anything. So, let's load up the VNTs, and my thanks to the assistance I got with. From CZ USA in obtaining this barrel a year and a half ago. They were terrific. I know that I'm not sure if they currently market these barrels on a retail basis anymore, but I happen to have one. And it's very fortunate. So top left target is that drone. Different report, that's for sure. A bit more of a pow. Should be the last shot. From what I can see, with this very sharp 4-power scope, those are pretty accurate. Now we're going to go to the CCI Maxi Mag. These are a 40 grain bullet. This is the kind of packaging I like. It's convenient. You know, you can put it in your pocket, your vest. They're easy to get out. Have to work up something with that bulk pack of the A22s. You have to have some sort of container to put them in. Maybe save one of these and use it. That's what I'll do. So, here we go with the Maxi Mags. Target to the right, top right. That's the last of the Maxi Mags. Now we'll pull open these Hornady 30 grade VMAX. These use the VMAX red polymer tip. Probably pretty effective on woodchucks, I would imagine. I'll have to try it out sometime. These, you know, 22 mags are definitely not what you want to use for rabbits. Not at all. I've been asked whether or not it's an effective enough round for coyotes. Well, from what I've seen of western coyotes, yes, no problem at all. You know, they're a lighter, much lighter animal than what we have in the Northeast here. We didn't have coyotes in the Northeast 45 years or 50 years ago or so, but they gradually crept in, and what we've got is a very, very large strain of coyotes. There's a lot of them around here, an awful lot of them around here. In fact, one of the gun stores down south in New Hampshire typically runs a lottery each coyote season each year, and they've pulled in some exceeding 50 pounds, and it's not uncommon for them to run 40 pounds, 45 pounds. So those are big animals, and I wouldn't want to be going after them with a 22 rimfire, but or even a 17 HMR. They just that's a pretty aggressive creature too. So. I'd say I'd want to have a 22 centerfire for that, at least. So here we are on the Hornadies. But for those of you who live out west, I don't think there's a problem. I'm not an expert in that field because I haven't shot any coyotes out west, but from what I've seen of them, I think they're light enough. Bottom left. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, bottom left. Of course, my drone is just hanging out down there, so I got to remember. It'll run out of gas at some point and just decide to come home. if I'm not mistaken, that one had a little bit lighter report. I don't know. That one sounded typical. Okay. And we'll finish it up with the spear. These are also a 30 grain. Seems like a lot of companies now are going to 30 grain. It must be a popular weight. So people vote with their wallets. So if they're making a lot of 30 grains, they must be selling. You know, I'm not one. Some people are all about velocity. I'm not necessarily all about velocity if accuracy isn't there or if penetration isn't there on the game that I'm seeking. But you know, for woodchucks, you're not going to need much more than 30 grain bullet is certainly enough for woodchucks or anything in that size category. You know, raccoons, anything like that. You definitely have enough. You definitely have enough bullet weight. And these are the spear. And you know, spear is, as far as I know, they're in the same you know, group that CCI is in, so they're not made by CCI, but I think there's a relationship there, a corporate relationship. So here's we're working on the bottom right target, and I'm getting rained on. I'm hurrying a little bit here because lost count on that one. All right, let's bring the drone home. I'm going to move it over, just turn it around just a little bit so you can get a better look. There we go. Hope you can see those good. All right, time to bring her home.
Go home.
All right, following the same order as the last time, I'm going to shoot first the Savage A22s by CCI, and you'll be able to hear, I've got my phone in my pocket, and it will be announcing the velocities as I go.
$2,136. $2,124. $20.95. $2,121. $2,108. $2,129. $2,102. $2,168. $2,133. $20.98.
That's the last one. All right, let's take a look at this CCI VNT. That's a striking looking bullet, that yellow polymer tip, that Federal, I should say that's the CCI's polymer tip. The VNT did very, very well on paper, so let's see how it does with velocity.
2,169.
She's a little bit slow on the pickup there.
2,204. 2,185. 2,185. 2,147. 2,175. 2,178. 2,229. 2,208. 2,195.
And this is the CCI Maxi Mag.
$19.73.
These are a 40 grain bullet.
$19.88. $19.56. $19.81. $19.64. $19.79. $19.42. 2005. 1939. 1966.
I can't keep count when I'm listening to her yell out the numbers. I really like this chronograph, by the way. It's highly programmable. It's as slick as can be. Very simple. You can enter any number of loads into the database and select any one of those loads at a given time and fire away, and it'll record everything. Record all your data. Keep it in a nice, easy bundle. So these are the Hornady VMAX, and these are also a 30 grain bullet.
$2,206. $2,176.
Didn't give me a reading on that one. You make sure I'm still registering here. Should be. Try it again.
$2,237. $2,227. $2,229. $2,221. $2,239. $2,265.
Okay, on the screen we've got Federal Spear Bullet Winchester Magnum. We'll see how this one goes.
$2,164. $2,222. $2,195. 2,241. 2,198. 2,218. 2,215. 2,228. 2,228. 2,215.
Okay. That finishes it up. So, I wish to thank my Patreon supporters. You've helped me purchase this ammunition so I can do this testing, and it helps fund all the things that we do, keeps me at work. As you know, ammunition, components, everything, shooting gear right now is extremely costly. So Benny took off with Mum. She came to rescue him because I had to run the truck and keep him in the truck with the air conditioning on. It's getting kind of hot out here today for him. And it's a very, very warm day. But the rifle shot very, very well. As I say, my only if there's a complaint, the only complaint I have is that due to the tangent sight alignment of the stock, it's too low for a scope to situate your face correctly for a good cheek weld. Actually, standing up, I can get a pretty good cheek weld, but I can't bear down on my cheekbone as if I was, shooting the way I normally do. I like to get that stock right up into my cheekbone, and with this stock being as low as it is, that's not possible. So that's somewhat of a handicap. So I can get a pad for that, and that'll rectify that problem. But it's a great rifle, fantastic accuracy. You can't even describe how smooth it is. It's just flawless feeding. Everything about it is just great. Super duper trigger, fantastic. Nice safety. It's the safety will allow you to operate the bolt with the trigger locked. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when I'm producing a new video. Thank you and God bless.